So I had therapy today, and just kind of want to share some insights that my therapist and I kind of came to, in a sense, because the way my sessions work is that my therapist doesn't tell me what to do. My therapist asks me questions. My therapist encourages me to do a lot of reflecting during the session until basically she just leads me to the same conclusion. It just takes a little longer because she knows I would respond to it. I would respond to myself better. But yeah, we discussed at some length my current state in terms of my self-worth, because I have stated in previous videos before that I do get some pretty heavy imposter syndrome. I don't know which order these videos are going to come out. Maybe the ADHD video will come out first or after this, I don't know, but yeah, basically I really don't see myself as anyone worthy of much. It baffles me even when my partner, Emily, kind of out of nowhere shows like affection, especially during a busy work day. Not that that doesn't make him look good, but it's me. Yeah, in the words of the great American poet Taylor Swift, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah, I'm normally the problem. I'm normally the one that's am I even in focus? Yeah, okay. I'm the one that doesn't see my worth. He sees it. Like, that's why he's still here. That's why he's still, here in this relationship. I tend to not see my worth. Like I said, I tend to undervalue myself. That's another way of saying it. It sometimes makes relationships hard, like not just, romantic relationships, but friendships, even with or even with family. Because there are people that do believe in you, and it just seems like you're hurting them in a sense when you're not, when you don't believe in yourself as much as they believe in you. Because there's these people that put a lot of faith in you, and you don't have faith in yourself, and it's to a point that there's a possibility that they start to feel like they put their faith in the wrong person, or if they were wrong to put their faith in you or in me. It surprises me sometimes when I get shown affection just out of nowhere during the day, even though that's just kind of a thing, with having a partner that loves you. And it's still surprising and shocking to me that I even deserve that much, because in everything I do. She had me reflecting on why, to try to get to the root of it, to get to the why of it all. And I had mentioned that and she knows this, basically we're just repeating some things that, my therapist already knows about me, which is the fact that I minimize my own pain, my own needs, for the sake of others. And it's not even because I'm putting their needs before mine. It's I'm putting their comfort before mine. Like if I'm somehow hurt by anything, by someone's actions, someone's words, and obviously, supposedly, I'm entitled to express that. Like, hey, when you said, or when I heard you say this, or when you did this, or when I saw you do this, I felt this way. Like it's, I'm entitled to communicate in such a way, but I just hide it because I don't want to be a burden. Like, I just don't want to be yet another thing that needs to be worried about, that needs to be handled. And so I basically gave the illusion of being okay, of being healed. And that isn't it. Like, that ain't it, Chief. I'm not okay. I haven't been okay for a while. And, I've just been convincing myself that I am not entitled to feel tired because I haven't been working as hard. I'm not entitled to complain about certain things because I don't believe I've been contributing as much to anything, this household, to temper tantrum. We had our evaluations, and then last month, one-on-one with the team. And by one-on-one, it's by the team, like a team member and leadership board. But also leadership board had their own, we had our own evaluation meeting with each other, and each and every single one of these calls, there was always a unifying comment of they want me to own the fact that I am their leader because they see me as one. And I'm like, what impact have I left on these people? Like, especially the ones that I also just didn't meet this year. Like, the ones I met last year, probably, yeah, it's, we're friends now. Like, I may have had more of an impact with them just because I've known them for a while. But the ones that I met this year, I just didn't think anything I did meant that much to them, because in my eyes, all I did was send emails and hound people for retreat money and try to corral people into, help me out with this, do this, hey, let me film you over here, hey, go stand over there while I take your picture, or all I did was just corral people and tell them what to do, which I guess, yeah, that's part of leadership, but I didn't direct, I didn't choreograph, I don't give notes when it comes to dancing. Yeah, no, my view of myself does not match what everyone sees. And that was something that was kind of touched on at length during my therapy session. Mostly because it is, it's December. It's like a week before Christmas at the time of filming, and Sonic just came out. Yeah. So it's the week before Christmas. I'm broke. I was able to snag 2 gifts for Lauren and Emroy at a massive discount while I had a little bit of money left in my bank account, before I had to give money to contribute to the house, feed myself, and Emroy, like, during our date. And yeah, like, it has been rough. The holiday season in general, because it is the end of the year, gets a little rough for me because I get very existential because of all the self-reflection that happens, whether or not I want it to, whether I see it on like people's end of year social media posts, or I look back on my whole year and, you know, I never feel like I've accomplished anything. Yeah. And I also don't feel like I'm able to look forward that far into 2025, into the following year, as far as like Emroy and Lauren could, or anyone else that I know. People have all these like lofty plans that they are more than likely going to be able to reach. Meanwhile, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll be alive. Fingers crossed. Yeah. So there's that. And yeah, and it's also, my birthday's also coming up in a little over a week, and that's also been weighing really heavily on me, because then that's another, it's another year around the sun, and I'm 33, I'm gonna be 34, and what have I done? What have I done at 34 years old? I mean, okay, to give myself the credit, yes, sure. I rediscovered my passion of dancing. This is my first year back in dance, in doing this thing that makes me very happy, doing this thing that has literally saved my life. That is a big deal. But what else? Lauren and Emroy have done pretty well at acknowledging what else I've done this year, because I have done other things and they are still related to dance. I guess I've auditioned for things I never thought I was going to. I actually did work gigs that involved dance. Like I was for brief moments I was a working dancer. Like, I don't know how to take the dub. Yeah, I never expected much more of myself, really, but I also have this kind of unhealthy way of telling myself that whatever I did achieve wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough to count as a dub. Like, I just can't take it. I am unable to take the dub. It's like, if someone called me pretty, I'd be like, no, I'm just having like no, you're just blind. You know what I mean? Like, or like if someone said, oh, you're a good dancer, I'm like, no, just because I'm dancing next to someone that doesn't know how to. Yeah, I always find a way to discredit everything. And back to minimizing my own needs and pain, like, I have had almost daily panic attacks over the last quarter. Actually, no. Last 2 quarters. I've had almost daily panic attacks, and neither Lauren nor Emroy have seen them. They live with me. We live in a studio apartment, so there's no other room other than the bathroom. Especially Emroy, because Lauren goes to work outside of the home. Emroy and I work from here. And like, this is not an achievement, but I got really good at hiding it. Like, when I start to feel one, I go to the bathroom, pretend I have to take a shit, and then just kind of lock myself in there. I've said this to Emroy. I've opened it up to Emroy that I have been hiding my panic attacks from him, and he has expressed to me that hurt him, and I see that. Because he is my partner and I'm supposed to trust him. And I'm supposed to feel safe around him. And I didn't feel safe not because he's not a safe person. I didn't feel safe because I basically spoke for him. I answered for him. Because the question is, do you have time for me right now? Do you have time to comfort me? Do you have time to at least just hold space for me? That is the question as I'm having a panic attack. And I answered for him. I said no for him. Like, minimizing my own pain before anyone else could. And what does that say about me? What does that say about everyone else? Like, what does that say about me and what I think about everybody else around me? Like, do I just think everyone's like a shitty person and doesn't have any time? Or doesn't want to at least hold space? Like, they don't have to comfort me. They don't have to drop everything and like hug me, even though my love language is physical touch. And that would actually, really help. But if the bare minimum would just be to hold space, just let me have it and be around for it. I said no for everybody before I could even ask. I said no for him. I've said no for Lauren. Why am I gesturing? They're not here. It comes down to me speaking for other people. It comes down to me assuming what they would be comfortable with, as opposed to asking what they would be comfortable with. Because in my view, especially when I would be having those nearly almost daily panic attacks, is again another one. Really? And again, I'm speaking for other people now. I am projecting my own frustration at myself onto other people. Because in my book, if I'm frustrated at myself, imagine the other person. Imagine how they must feel having to actually deal with me, having to actually, either have to comfort me, drop everything to comfort me, or, take time out of their day and expend mental energy to hold space. Just don't want to be a burden. And my therapist did say that the road to me being able to just take up space and be able to appropriately express my pain or my needs is going to be long, and it's going to be rocky. And I did feel very acknowledged by that, because I never want to feel like this is the solution, you just have to do it. I am aware that that is what it takes. I just felt very acknowledged that she also acknowledges that what it takes is very difficult. And that's the thing that I don't normally get from other people that are not my therapist, which is fine because they are not me. They have not been, privy to these therapy sessions, because they have their own shit too. Like, they have their way of doing what it takes. And I'm not saying it's easier for them, but they have more of a capacity than I do. And that's the thing. I most likely have more of a capacity than someone else does. It's just, people, we're human beings. We are not a monolith. With a therapist, someone who actually gets paid to do this, someone whose, profession this is, it's a lot easier for them to be more aware of that, to be more mindful of that, especially during a session, because then they have to be like, oh, okay, so this is Max. And all the extensive notes that they've had on me. So it's not like, whenever I'm going to express something to Emroy or Lauren, that they're just gonna pull out a notebook or like pull out my phone or pull out their phones and be like, oh, okay, so when she's doing this, this is what we need to say, like this is what she means. Like, they're not my therapist. That's the thing. They don't get paid. Yeah, no, they this is not their profession. Also, if they were my therapist, that would be a huge conflict of interest, especially with Emroy, who's my partner, and also with Lauren, who is my partner's partner. I have no idea where I'm going with this. I guess I just wanted to share how I feel right now after having had therapy. I was talking to my therapist about my birthday.
I'm told!
I'm in a weird place about it. I want to celebrate it with people, but because of its adjacence to two major winter holidays that are very family centric, one of them being Christmas and the other one being New Year's, it's like, but yeah, my birthday being nestled between those has been rough, because on one hand, again, I've been doing this thing where I just minimize like this pain and like discomfort or whatever, that like, yeah, I want to celebrate my birthday, but everyone's busy, everyone's got a family, everyone's got family stuff. I don't have family stuff because I never want to have family stuff. I'll celebrate it alone or with at least one person that's willing to celebrate with me. There are people that, ask me what I want to do for my birthday. And every time I say, I don't know, I don't even want anything, it's kind of half true. I don't know, because I don't know when anyone is available. I could ask for sure, but again, I'm just answering for everybody else now that, it's like, oh, family, oh, work, oh, your birthday's in a weird spot, like, sorry, I'll text you. I guess. So yeah, my birthday has also been always, like, even as a child, a pretty lonely time. I'm not saying that my family never celebrated my birthday, like that they never felt obliged to. Hell, I had Jollibee cater my birthday party when I went to turn 9, and it was at a castle owned by the guy that created those Precious Moments dolls, the little teardrop eye ones. Yeah, that guy. It was a castle. I was able to say that I had a birthday party on the lawn of a castle, and my family got a private tour of the inside of the castle. Technically no public access normally, because it was someone's home. But my parents knew the guy, and we were able to rent it out. And the party itself took place on the lawn, and just staging everything was like inside, like in the dining room, in the kitchen, obviously the bathroom, everything else, like bedrooms and other like rooms for like the dolls. It was kind of creepy. Wasn't open to anyone at the party until the party was over, and then we were given a private tour. So yeah, I'm not saying that I was never celebrated for my birthday as a child, but growing up, as I got older, I have felt that I haven't earned the right to be celebrated just by being born. As I got more and more depressed, I'm like, I was born, so what? Like, I personally do not deserve a cookie just because I was born like some years ago. Other people, I will celebrate being born. Like people like Emroy, people like Lauren, people like my best friend Kyle, people like my best friend Cheska. I will celebrate the fuck out of those people just because they were born. I will thank Like, I will go as far as thanking their parents for boning and raw dogging it to make them. Like, thank you for raw dogging it that one specific night because you have brought this amazing human into this world. I never felt like I was that kind of person that, you know, someone should be thanking my parents for boning. For making me. Hell, even my parents regret making me. Yeah, I mean, they celebrated my birthday because I was their child that was born. Like, but I'm pretty sure they were never proud of the fact that they made me. I'm sure I gave them plenty of reasons not to be. Gave them plenty of reasons to be ashamed of me and not be proud of me. But yeah, here we are. I like to say that my birthday's not a big deal. Just to ease the pain. I think that's it. Overall, like, to fully encapsulate this whole session, I say no for other people. I minimize my pain before anybody can. So that way, they are not hurting me. He talks shit about himself. So, like, everything you say to him after that is just like, okay, cool. Got anything else? I said worse about myself. I think that's it. Yeah. I project all these, like, rejections that I'm already anticipating onto these people, and I say no for them before they could say no to me. I hurt myself before they could hurt me. So, in summary, I talked to my therapist today, and she helped me realize that I should not be speaking for other people, that I should not be saying no to me for other people, that I should not get ahead of them. And if they do say no, if they do say something or do something that makes me feel hurt, then that's a discussion, and that should be a conversation, because then they'll never know that what they had said or what they had done had that effect on me. Instead, they're just going to keep going. They're just going to keep inadvertently hurting me and not know about it, and I just take it on the chin. But, you know, I'm still a human being. Like, how much longer will I be able to take it on the chin until I break, until resentment builds and I sabotage their relationship with anyone? That is my homework for basically the rest of my life. And also, just the little thing about the birthday thing is, or for anything, is to celebrate myself. To celebrate. If it's a little W, then sell it and have a little celebration. Like, celebrate according to the dub. Like, I'm not gonna throw myself a party because I got paid $150 to dance at a sweet 16th birthday. And here I am minimizing it again, but, you know, I'm not gonna throw myself a party about that. But, like, if I'm getting acknowledged and if I'm getting props for that, accept it, and, you know, still be proud of the fact that I did a thing that basically calls me a working dancer, that makes me be considered a working dancer. Not touring with Beyonce, but you know, still a working dancer. That's still a dub, and I should take that dub. I have always known that I am my worst enemy, my worst critic. And I always kind of wore that as a badge of honor, because, again, If I can do and say worse things to myself, then nobody can hurt me, right? That clearly isn't the case. What I'm doing is hurting other people, including myself. I'm also robbing people of the opportunity to know things about me that would be crucial to the relationship. Also, I just want to close this out. I know it's going to be a little preachy sounding, but please go to therapy. I didn't get to go to therapy for months. It's so important. Like, I preach all the time to people to go to therapy. I have told people to go to therapy. People have started therapy because I hounded them, and they have thanked me. But here I am, like, not going to therapy and thinking I can just raw dog life without it. Therapy has been huge for me in general. It's a huge thing because it is part of a huge life change, and it's a big deal. But go to therapy even though there's like something that you don't think is a big deal in your life. You know, it could affect your relationship with people. It could affect your performance at work. Whatever your job is. Everybody needs it. You don't have to be depressed. Everybody needs someone to talk to that isn't fully as emotionally invested in them. Like, your friends are great, your family's great, your partner is great, but they are still emotionally involved and invested in you in a way, and there will be some biases. What you need is someone who is empathetic, but is also an expert, is also a professional. Just know that you are loved. People out there love you. And everything you're feeling is valid. Everything that you currently need from yourself or from your loved ones is valid. You deserve to take up the space. You deserve to have space held for you. You deserve comfort. You're also entitled to feel exhausted because you don't have the same capacity as everybody else. And that's okay. This is how you're built.